Do you know how much a plumber makes in a day, the guy you call at midnight when the water won't stop? You've seen the bill. Everybody has seen the bill. 45 minutes of work, $380. And a thought crossed your mind while writing that check. I picked the wrong career. So here's the question this whole video answers. When you pay $150 an hour, how much of it does the plumber actually keep? The answer is going to genuinely surprise you. We'll cover the real wages, the emergency premium, and the one job in America nobody can outsource, automate, or postpone. Because when the water's rising, price stops being a conversation. Let's get into it. Before we count anybody's money, hit subscribe and help me out. It's free, and it's the only thing I'll ever ask you for. 2 a.m. A pipe bursts behind a kitchen wall. Water everywhere. Panic, phone in hand. And in that moment, one truth becomes very clear. You will pay literally anything to make it stop. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Plumbing isn't a repair business. It's an emergency business that happens to use wrenches. Nobody shops around for a plumber at 2 a.m. Nobody asks for a second quote while the ceiling drips. And that single fact sets the price of everything in this trade. Quick rewind, because this trade saved more lives than doctors. That's not an exaggeration. It's a documented claim. For most of human history, cities were killing their own residents. Waste ran in open channels. Drinking water sat right beside it. Outbreaks swept through cities every few years. Then engineers separated the clean water from the dirty water. Sewers, traps, vents, pressurized supply lines. Life expectancy climbed dramatically in the decades that followed. A British medical journal once polled its readers on the greatest medical advance since 1840. The winner wasn't antibiotics. It wasn't vaccines. It was sanitation. Clean water and sewage disposal. Plumbers built that. Every pipe, every joint, by hand. So the next time you laugh at the trade, remember, the plumber protects the health of the nation. That's not a slogan. It's the actual motto of the trade. So let's start with a number on your invoice. Nationally, plumbers charge $45 to $200 an hour. Most jobs land between $75 and $150. A licensed journeyman during business hours, $60 to $120. A master plumber, $80 to $180. Emergency and after-hours calls, $100 to $250 an hour. In New York, Boston, San Francisco, higher still. Now the question everyone actually wants answered. How much of that lands in the plumber's pocket? The median plumber wage in America is about $30 an hour, roughly $61,500 a year. Read those two numbers together. The customer pays $150, the plumber earns $30. Where do the other $120 go? That gap is the most misunderstood thing in the trades. So let's follow it dollar by dollar. First stop, the truck. A fully stocked plumbing van costs $50,000 to $80,000. Not the van plus everything inside it. Because a plumber who drives back for a part loses the job. Second stop, insurance. Liability coverage for a trade that can flood a house. One bad connection behind a wall becomes a $50,000 claim. Third stop, the license. Years of apprenticeship. Exams, continuing education, renewals, fourth stop, overhead nobody sees. Dispatchers, scheduling software. Warranty callbacks, unpaid invoices, and the biggest hidden cost of all windshield time. Driving between calls. Traffic, parking, supply house runs. A plumber might bill 5 hours in a 10-hour day. Sound familiar? The tattoo artist billed needle hours only. Every skilled trade sells hours and gives half of them away. So that $150 rate isn't a wage. It's the price of keeping an entire business alive so that somebody can arrive at your house in 30 minutes. Now let's climb the ladder, because plumbing has clear tiers. Tier 1, the apprentice. 4 to 5 years of learning, on a paycheck. Apprentices earn around $21 an hour on average. Year 1, $32,000 to $45,000 a year. Year 4, $52,000 to $70,000. Apprentice wages typically start at 40 to 50% of journeyman rate and climb as the training progresses. No tuition, No student debt, paid from the first week. Tier 2, the journeyman. Licensed, independent, can supervise apprentices. Average, about $34 an hour, $69,000 a year, plus $4,000 to $7,000 a year in overtime. Tier 3, the master plumber. Additional years, additional exams, the right to pull permits. Average, about $38 an hour, $80,000 a year, and on a W-2, top masters reach $85,000 to $130,000, which is already excellent money for a job with no degree. But there's a fourth tier, and it changes everything. Tier 4, owning the truck. Now you don't earn a wage, you earn the whole rate. Self-employed master plumbers commonly earn $120,000 to $220,000 a year and beyond. Same skills. Same hands, same pipes. One rents the customer, the other owns him. That's the real dividing line in this trade. Not skill, not speed. Ownership of the phone call. Because the plumber who owns the phone number keeps $150 an hour instead of $30. But now he also owns everything that can go wrong. Okay, let's ride along for one full day. Meet Ray, licensed journeyman. 14 years. Phoenix, Arizona, 6:15 a.m., van check. Fittings, valves, seals, torches, cameras, augers, every missing part is a wasted trip later. 7 a.m., first call. Water heater, not heating. 20 minutes of diagnosis. A failed heating element. Total job, 90 minutes. Customer pays $340. Ray earns his hourly wage about $50 for that hour and a half. The rest funds the van, the shop, the parts, the guarantee. 9:30, call 2. A clogged main line. And this is where plumbing stops being glamorous. Roots grow into pipes. Grease hardens like concrete. Wet wipes labeled flushable are the trade's greatest villain. Every plumber has strong opinions about them. Very strong. A camera goes down the line, roots confirmed. Job total, $480. 2 hours of work. Noon, lunch in the van. 20 minutes, air conditioning on. 1 p.m., the estimate call. And this one is unpaid. Free estimates are standard in residential plumbing. 45 minutes of measuring, explaining, and quoting. The customer says they'll think about it. They usually do. That's 45 unpaid minutes, and it happens constantly. 2:30, a supply house run. 30 minutes gone. 4 p.m., a toilet install. Straightforward, physical, hot, 5:30, paperwork in the van before heading home. Ray's day, 4 calls, roughly 11 hours door to door. Billable hours, about 6. His pay, about $340 for the day. The company billed customers roughly $1,200. And most of that difference genuinely went to running the business. Which is exactly why so many plumbers eventually leave to start their own. Now the emergency premium. This is the fun part. Evening and weekend calls raise rates by 50 to 100%. Holiday emergencies climb higher still. Thanksgiving is legendary in this trade. Every garbage disposal in America meets its limit that week. The day after Thanksgiving is one of the busiest of the year. But an on-call plumber pays for those premiums with his life. Phone on. Boots by the door. Dinner interrupted mid-bite. Weekends stop being weekends. That's the actual price. And here's what the customer never realizes. The 2 a.m. Call isn't expensive because of the wrench. It's expensive because somebody stayed available. You're not paying for the repair. You're paying for the readiness. Now let's talk about why this trade is quietly bulletproof. Because plumbing survives things that erase other jobs. Recession? Pipes still burst. People cancel vacations. They don't cancel toilets. Offshoring? You can't fix a Chicago pipe from another continent. Artificial intelligence? It can write the invoice. It cannot crawl under your house at midnight. And here's the demographic fact driving everything. America is running out of plumbers. For 2 generations, everyone was pushed toward college. Meanwhile, the plumbers who built the country began retiring. Fewer entrants, more retirements, same number of pipes, which is why rates keep rising year after year, and why a licensed plumber can pick his own city. Let's price a few jobs you'll actually face someday. Unclogging a basic drain, $100 to $300. Replacing a faucet, $150 to $400. Installing a water heater, $1,000 to $3,000. Clearing a main sewer line, $300 to $800. Replacing a whole sewer line, $5,000 to $20,000. That last one is why homeowners fear the word roots. Notice the pattern in those numbers. The price isn't set by hours. It's set by consequences. A faucet leak is annoying. A sewer line is a catastrophe, and catastrophes never negotiate. Now the specializations, because this is where six figures live. Gas fitting, backflow prevention, medical gas systems. Each one is an extra license and a wall competitors can't climb. Commercial plumbing pays more than residential. Industrial and hospital systems pay more than commercial. Union locals in California and Massachusetts pay the most of all. Journeymen at the high end reach $103,000. And service plumbers on commission? Different animal entirely. Many companies pay a percentage of every job sold. Suddenly the plumber isn't just fixing, he's selling. Your water heater is 11 years old, by the way. That single sentence, said politely, is worth thousands a year. The best paid plumbers aren't the fastest with a wrench. They're the ones homeowners trust immediately. Now the costs, because this job bills your body too. Kneeling on concrete, crawling through crawl spaces, lifting cast iron, working in ceilings with arms overhead. Knees and shoulders are the first to file complaints. And then the part nobody puts on a recruitment poster, this job involves other people's sewage. Regularly, veterans joke that the pay is hazard pay for the nose. They also point out something honest. The unpleasant part is exactly why the pay stays high. Every job nobody wants to do pays better than the ones everybody wants. Thinking about picking up a wrench yourself? The entry path is genuinely one of the best in America. Apply to an apprenticeship. Get paid from week 1. 4 to 5 years later, you hold a journeyman license worth $65,000 to $95,000 a year, with zero student debt, and a skill nobody can take from you. Your first year will be humbling, though. You'll hold the flashlight. You'll dig the trench. You'll learn what 40 different fittings are called. And one day, a homeowner will look at you with total relief because you made the water stop. That's the job. So how do the winners win in plumbing? Rule 1. Get licensed, then get licensed again. Every certification is a wage floor that can't be argued down. Rule 2. Own the customer relationship. The plumber who gets called directly keeps the whole rate. Lead fee platforms rent you customers. They never sell them. Rule 3. Sell the inspection, not just the repair. One visit can reveal 3 future jobs honestly. Rule 4. Price the emergency, not the hour. Rule 5. Protect the knees like they're the business. Because they are. A wrecked back ends the career, not the market. And Rule 6. The end game is a second truck. Hire a journeyman. Bill his hours. Keep the spread. That's how a plumber becomes a plumbing company. So the final math. The number you clicked for. An apprentice, about $21 an hour. $160 a day. $32,000 to $70,000 a year, climbing every step. A journeyman, $34 an hour. Roughly $270 a day. $65,000 to $95,000 a year, with overtime on top. A master plumber on payroll, $85,000 to $130,000. A master who owns the truck, $120,000 to $220,000, and the ceiling keeps going from there. On a busy emergency night, a single call can bill $600. On a slow Tuesday, 3 unpaid estimates and 1 small repair. The wrench was never the variable. The license, the phone number, and the truck decide everything. So back to that bill on your kitchen counter. $380 for 45 minutes. Was it fair? Now you can actually answer that. You paid for a van stocked with $80,000 of parts. For a license that took 5 years to earn. For insurance covering the wall behind your cabinet. For the 2 hours of unpaid driving you never saw. And for the fact that somebody answered the phone at all. The plumber kept about 50 of those dollars. The rest kept the van on the road for the next emergency. Which, if you think about it, is exactly what you were buying. Water stops. life continues. Nobody thinks about it again. Until 2 a.m. when the pipe behind the wall decides otherwise. If this changed how you see that invoice, subscribe. Because next time, we're opening somebody else's toolbox.